Welcome back to another episode of Putting Up Points. It's your boy Frank. I'm here with the gang.
You already know your boy LD.
You already know it's your boy Jay.
That's your boy Meek Sweat. We got my man Justin Wimbo here.
What's up, fellas?
Zone6ix.
What's good, man?
How y'all doing today, fellas?
Amazing. 420.
Chill.
Feeling real spiritual.
chill.
What is it called? Elevated.
All right, so just introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Hey, man. Justin Wimberly, CEO, co-founder of Zone6ix. And you already know, man, Zone6ix sports media company based out of Jersey, but we've been able to take our talents outside of the metropolitan area and actually around the whole United States and whatnot.
That's lit,
so
bro.
we just provided a platform for our youth and high school athletes.
That's dope.
Got you. So a lot of questions, people like some people also had too is like, what is Zone6ix?
Yeah, so going back to the media platform, we allow the kids to show their personalities on off the field, whether it's doing photo shoots, video shoots, and whatnot. Also, we allow them to receive exposure. We think some kids deserve a bigger spotlight to be looked at the next level, and it doesn't have to be going to like a Power 5 school. We just want to make sure a kid has a fair shake to get a free education at the next level. So we definitely have diamonds in the roughs, without a doubt. I mean, when I first started the company, we had a kid by the name of Jameer Wright Collins that no one really knew about as far as in the like recruiting world, as far as college coaches and whatnot. Kid was jumping 6'8", 6'10" high jump out of Kennedy High School. We invited him to be a part of our first photo shoot ever, which was crazy. I mean, within 48 hours, we had over 1,500 followers, just because we was providing something that you usually only see at the collegiate or professional level and whatnot. But long story short, John Mayer, 2 days later, got his first offer. Maybe 4 days after that, he had 3 more because he was on the same platform with Jordan Morant, who was an All-American coming out of Bergen Catholic, and also Jalen Berger as well was a part of that shoot. So we let some of these kids out here eat off of some of the other players' plates, and they actually love each other. They bond at these shoots and whatnot when we come together, whether there's a camp and whatnot. So they don't mind helping out one of their fellow peers to be able to go play at the next level.
What is the age group that you don't for the kids that are part of Zone6ix?
So we actually target kids from 5th grade going all the way up to senior year of high school and whatnot. And then we also follow and highlight the careers as they go into college. So our first class, we're all seniors, class of 2020. And now they're actually going to their junior year next year academically. So they're finishing their sophomore years right now, but all of them still have an extra year eligibility due to everything with COVID and this pandemic.
Right.
Yeah. Where did the name Zone6ix come from?
I mean, it was pretty simple, man. Like, I kind of like go around places. I remember I went to the paint shop one time. I went to, I was in Puerto Rico, I had on a Zone6ix shirt, and everyone always like, yo, you from East Atlanta, Georgia? I'm like, nah. But the name actually,
like, Futures?
yo, I'm telling you, they always acting like, yo, you from Atlanta? Like, well, I'm like, nah. And I tell them like Zone6ix. It was like, so how you come up with the name? I'm looking like end zone 6 points because the target was football and whatnot. I'm looking like,
got you.
Someone's like, what if Gucci or like Drake's 666 or whatever? I'm like, shoot, if I'm in conversation with those guys, that's good publicity. I'll take that.
I was gonna say that like, promo wise, like when I first saw it, just off the name, I was like Zone6ix. That is just catchy, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah,
just it being Zone6ix, you hear
like it's
like
a good
you say you
marketing.
hear it on in music.
You hear the
and all
music
time.
drops and stuff.
So
like
it's
that.
just like Zone6ix.
Yeah.
To me, it caught my attention.
Yeah, we made sure we spelled it different. So like, as far as like the trademark, we own that as far as with like the number 6 in it.
Right.
So we made sure that we didn't have like just spell it the regular way.
Right.
But I mean, we love to have fun with our brand, and everyone now is. I mean, it could be, you can name something, anything. Once it gets going, everyone's used to it now for sure.
how was the beginning stages like of Zone 6? Like, was there any challenges? Even though, like, like you had some of the youth, feed off some of the other youths, like stock. How was the beginning? Like was it real challenging, or everything just like once you was able to put everybody together, it all like settled like set for itself?
So just to take you back to the beginning, the whole idea kind of came about. I was in grad school at University of Arkansas. Mind you,
Oh, I remember
Arkansas,
that.
coming from Jersey, two different speeds of life. So I'm just like cooling it, chilling in my apartment, and I'm just looking like, what's going on in high school sports back in Jersey and whatnot. And I'm looking like, who's the top players nowadays? Like, oh, I just wanted to stay up to date. And I actually saw this kid's highlight tape. His name is Julian Fleming. He's actually going to be a big standout star this year for Ohio State. It was hard for him to really shine this year. I mean, they got two guys going in the first round.
That team is crazy.
Yeah,
That
so
team is crazy.
Julian, I saw his highlight tape. He was ranked number 3 on ESPN, and he's middle of nowhere, PA, some high school. And I was joking to someone, I'm like, yo, he could go suit up for the Giants. Giants are just doing terrible. I mean, still doing terrible, but not to knock the Giants or anything like that. I made a joke and said, this guy could go suit up for the Giants right away. So I looked him up on Instagram, saw he had like 9,000 followers, right? And I'm looking like, I just seen some kid in Jersey post. Kid probably was like number 40 something in the state, maybe.
Mhm.
Kid got like 50,000 followers. So then I saw a bridge that needed to be gapped as far as the platforms of a football athlete at the high school level compared to a basketball player. But basketball players, whether it's college, professional, their followers and platforms and other media companies like myself, basketball is just bigger because you're giving more content and whatnot. Even if you look at NFL to NBA, the NBA has 3 times as many followers as the NFL on social media. So, of course, during that era, I think this is like right before, I think Odell got traded to the Browns that spring of 2019 and whatnot. And then everyone, you ask any kid, like, yo, you know who Odell Beckham is? They say, yeah, blonde hair. And I said, if kids are able to attach Odell Beckham and blonde hair, the media has to capture these athletes in the correct way. Everyone was still recording in the press box football games. No one's on the sideline with a camera. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna make sure we capture this the right way when the season came. Highlight tapes, make sure that again content on the sideline and whatnot. And all of our guys following just started going crazy, like literally going crazy.
Wow. That's dope, bro. That is really dope. Another question I have for you. So what made you come up with Zone 6 being besides football? I see you got basketball now, you got a couple of other stuff now.
Honestly, with the kids, and I mean, I have a great connection with the youth in my community. So even though we focused on football and whatnot, I still go pull up to basketball games, chill, hang out. I mean, I love I'm just a fan of sports, all sports for real. And the kids like, hey, you gotta bring this to basketball. Come on, nah, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm looking like, all right, chill, relax. I got you. So hit up my team. I'm like, hey, they want us to do basketball. And I'm looking like, all right, let's do it the right way. So we did a pep rally at Science and Technology. Actually, before we got to Science and Technology, we did a Ghost Madness at Eastside High School.
So we wanted to. I saw that. That was fire.
So the energy off of that, before we even get into the basketball season and whatnot, it was just like high expectations now. So we were like, all right, ain't no turning back. Let's keep it rolling. And it was like really, 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 really fun and whatnot, because we did end up doing Science and Technologies Pep Rally and whatnot. Took that one to another level because the first Pep Rally was really good. So the second one was like, yo, we gotta have some more theatrics. We had like fire flames and whatnot.
Yeah,
I
saw that.
it was like it was like a really, really like next level where it wasn't being done. Like people have pep rallies and whatnot. I'm talking about like almost like a full production where the kids walk away with a full memorable experience. And we just transition right into the actual season where we're able to do some photo shoots for some teams and whatnot. And then we also were able to pull up the games, pictures, content, recap videos, and we've been able to have some fun in that department as well. But football is definitely
Number one.
our number one. That's our baby for sure. Like we love basketball to death, but we're gonna continue to grow both for sure.
Got you. I mean, I'm always everywhere too, like myself. Who has been like your most, like, I would say, important professional mentor? Someone that, if you ever get stuck with like what to do to expand, or to, like when you're stuck somewhere.
I'll say two people. The first person, by no surprise, is my pops.
Mhm.
So he's been a coach for over 30 years and whatnot. And whenever I just run into like any obstacles, he's always there to pick up a call. I'm like, hey, what should I do in this situation? So before just like trying to make a decision on my own, which I can, but I try to make sure I get some good advice from him, especially when it comes to football and whatnot. But when working with some of these programs or coming up with some of the ideas that we're trying to do or implement. And my second person is Frank Stinson. Frank was our first sponsor ever, so he kind of took a chance on us. Below Body Bar, that's his brand, which is a cryotherapy spot in Rockaway, New Jersey. So Frank has a lot of knowledge. He played football as well, and he was a professional bodybuilder. So he's like a world class champ and whatnot, like number one in the country at one point. But he's been able to help me on the business side of things and give me some knowledge, because I definitely didn't go to school for business. I was sports management, and like I said, the idea just came right 4 months before graduating, and I'm
It
just
took off for you.
Question. Do you guys get a lot of support from this? Like, have you guys been getting a lot of support from the schools, like like high schools or even like middle schools and stuff like that, or not? Not really. Like
So-
support as in like like putting a word like of you guys to these kids.
So I feel like we do receive a lot of like support now, but of course we had to like work our way up, because it's like, who's Zone6ix, who's that, where you kind of like become credible. And I think last year was our real mark as a brand to take things to another level. We hosted our football classic on Labor Day weekend at Montclair State University. We had PCTI. I mean, you talking about third biggest school in the state of New Jersey versus Northwest Side, the biggest city in New Jersey. Also, we had St. Peter's Prep play the next game after them versus West Orange, and St. Peter's Prep was number 2 team in the state of New Jersey going into that game. So once we got someone of that caliber to buy in, they definitely helped us like solidify our name without a doubt. And then the following day, we was able to follow up with 3 more games at William Patterson. So yeah, this year we're looking to expand and whatnot. I mean, some people are not a fan of change and whatnot, but
It's needed for sure.
Yeah.
no, absolutely. So, I mean, we do it for the kids and whatnot. We want them to have memorable experiences. And as my peers and people I went to high school with, the joke is always, where was Zone6ix at when we was in high school? And anytime I ever hear that from my friends, or I even hear it from strangers and whatnot, or kids that just probably missed that 2019, 2020 deadline, I'm looking like we're doing the right thing. And those little jokes and lines, that's what keeps the brand like going for sure.
Speaking of kids, you was just talking about the kids. What does a kid have to be on Zone6ix and to be a part of Zone6ix?
So the thing about Zone6ix, we want everyone to have an opportunity to be a part of it. All right. Now, as far as the ones that we push forward, we want to, of course, on one side, if you have offers and whatnot, we're pushing your brand now. So you got offers, you good, you got free money, you going to school, right? So now let me build you as a person as far as your social media account and whatnot, because as we know, you can't play forever, right? So let's say you're a finance major, right? Let's say you're not going to the league, right? You walk into a Wall Street meeting and whatnot, guy might shake your hand and say, "Are you so and so from university or whatever?" "Oh, my son used to talk about and rave about you all the time. He used to follow you on social media." Right before you even open your mouth, you probably got a job right then and there. So that's one side of the brand for those guys who are being highly recruited. And then we have the other side where kids are underrated and looking for those John Mayer Wright Collins that are diamonds in the rough and whatnot. So every kid feels as if they could be a part of the brand, which they can. We just are very selective because we don't select every 4-5 star athlete to be a part of the brand. We're very selective. We like to work with some kids with some personality and whatnot. Like when we first started with our original class, I think the ranked kids were probably like 1, 3, 5, 18, 25 in the state, whatever. It was based off of looking into them and looking into their character. Are they good kids? Do they have good grades? That's also another thing. If you don't have good grades, it's really hard for us to go at bat because we just now wasting time. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's a
Books is
little bit.
definitely first. Always.
Always, always.
Yep.
Gotta get the education before anything, kids.
Yes,
Yeah, but
sir.
working with the Diamond and Russ is my like favorite part, without a doubt. We just had a kid. You ever heard of Destroying?
Yeah.
So I mean, the kid that gave up his kicking scholarship at UCF to make money off YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like
basically,
even his story like helped push, his story helped push NIL and whatnot to another level. We actually had this one kid, Jayon Ferrari, probably came up to our second camp. I'm like, who is this kid? He was down at Long Branch High School and whatnot. Ended up transferring into Donovan Catholic his last year. Long story short, Jayon still kind of underrated, and he didn't have any offers in a short COVID season. They only played 6 games.
Yeah. That's
And
hard.
whatnot. But he made first team all state, and still to this day is underrated as far as in my eyes. But actually, I want to say to this day, about 2 weeks ago, Jayon won 10K doing 101s in San Diego, and Destroying was hosting it. Next day later, he's into a prep school out in California, and he's
Even when you said that in the beginning, how you started it, it's crazy because when like while you were saying that, I was thinking about how we always hear about like the Lamelos, like all like it is everything is always in the West Coast. Like to be honest with you, I don't even really know a lot of ball players from the East Coast. You know what I mean? Because usually what they put on TV and like Instagram and everything that they push
Mhm.
is usually always from the West Coast. So that is I never noticed it until you actually said it now, which is crazy.
Yeah, so shout out to my guy Jayon Ferrara, man. Definitely, he's gonna be one of those stories where you get your 30 for 30, or you look at someone on TV like a Cooper Cup or someone
Yeah.
small school. He's gonna definitely that kid very special. I mean, he had the grades 3.7, and I mean sometimes patience is key.
Word. That paper trail was crazy when you got that 3.5 and up. Good. Can't tell you nothing. You kind of pretty much answered my next question. I was gonna ask you like what is your favorite things about being a part of Zone 6? So
Okay.
you kind of answered that one.
I can still. I mean,
mean,
I think the best part of it, since we've had a lot of growth in a 3-year period, is our imagination is the only thing that could really stop us, right? So we we actually implement some things that some people see at the next level, or vice versa. I've seen people implement some things that we do on our level, but these ideas for the most part are experiences of my life. I mean, like I said, Arkansas was very, very slow place, but I was in a school that's in the SEC, right? A program that gets a lot of love from the Jones family, of course, with Jerry Jones being an alum. Him and Steven. We're a Nike school, so once we started having events and whatnot, I'm like, I want these kids to have the best of the best. So you ain't gonna come to a Zone 6 event and just get a T-shirt. You have arm sleeve, headgear, top, bottom, and whatnot. And I'm a big fan of just being well dressed and feeling good, feeling comfortable about myself. And one of the things I love at Arkansas was every Wednesday during football season when I was working as a GA, we had something called Swag Wednesday. Swag Wednesday was a
Nice.
brand new piece of Nike something in my locker. So like that season, probably had like 6 pair of sneakers, had like a huge rolling bag and whatnot, just sweatsuits like every Wednesday.
I used to always see it like, yo, that's fire. I used to always tell my mom, like, yo, that's fire.
Like soon as I pulled up, they're like, "Hey, you can't wear nothing else around this facility besides Nike." From socks, compressions, they weren't like they handed me a whole bag. So just the Swag Wednesday was after I got there, but when I got there, I'm looking like, sheesh. I'm like, all right, this is some great energy to start off. So I'm looking like once we started the brand, I'm looking like, hey, I want to make sure my staff is good. I think every single event we've had, and we've had multiple events, and we get creative with the color schemes with the kids. So like some of their Oregon, like you see, like I think our next one is our Elite Invitational, which is it has like it's red, white, and blue, but like the stars are actually like the stars from the Magic jerseys from like when T-Mac played. Like that's what so we like
the throwbacks.
Yeah, if you look on the table, you see the Golden State Warriors font right there. So we definitely have a great time with doing things that the kids love, and we always like to relate to them.
That's creative branding. That's fire.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and we don't cross no lines doing that. So it's,
Don't try and get nobody sued out here.
Facts.
Where do you see Zone6ix within like the next few years? Like where do you see your brand going?
I feel as if we really are taking the right step as going into our events and whatnot for our classics, even our showcases. I feel as if we're gonna be one of those like in-house like national household names, just like how you see like Overtime. Probably that's like more related like to the kids
Okay.
now, where they know Overtime really highlights a lot of high
Yeah.
school athletes and whatnot. But I think we become a household name, and then I think there's probably some room and opportunities for us to potentially look into maybe building some type of like academy and whatnot.
That'll be that fire. Put no points for love.
I was gonna think of like a facility. Like I thought you probably said like a facility. Like you ever see like
I did. I actually. It's funny that you said that, and
Mhm.
I mean, I have a few mentors and whatnot, and I was talking to one of my mentors, and he has like a huge, indoor sporting facility. Well, he sold it, but he was like, "You don't want that headache."
Oh, okay.
The overhead is crazy and whatnot. I mean, you got the upkeep, and I'm looking
Remember
like,
we wanted to do that shit at one point. When we were younger, we used to play in like basketball leagues,
Mhm.
and we used to always say like, "Oh, that would be dope if we could ever like own one and just have it for everybody." But now you're saying,
yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I just feel as if like if it's a move I can make super comfortable, then we'll do it. But like I know like in my town, as far as I mean, of course, like let's say we got indoor turf, that's cool and whatnot. But I know like a need in Patterson is multiple courts. So if you go to like a Boo Williams down in Virginia and you got like 20 basketball courts, we need that. Like I remember if we was growing up playing city league basketball, we could have all these games going at once. Not just going out once. We was only playing one time a week. And not to discredit some of these neighboring towns that's not in the inner city, some of these teams and programs are playing 2-3 times a week, like it's AAU basketball in a sense. And we were limited and whatnot to playing one game on a weekend. But with those type of resources and facilities, you could definitely take things to another level. You could also, especially from where I come from, keeping kids out of trouble and give them a safe place to actually come. So you could do a lot with an indoor facility besides just playing a game. You could create a rec room and whatnot. And we actually been fortunate to create two rooms in 2 different schools. One at John P. Holland, which is in Woodland Park, and one at School 21 in Patterson. And we actually have like if you go there 2 Zone6 rooms, and it's like fully equipped for those kids to have fun as far as iMac computers, playing air hockey tables, some study room area, lounge out and whatnot. So I think we're, like I said, taking the right steps where people are taking notice and we're just expanding our brand. But that's the number one thing I would definitely want to be able to create any opportunities that are a need of urban communities.
Facts. It's like little dope, little safe havens for kids to go to, so they can escape all the stuff that's going on in Patterson. I
No,
like that.
definitely
That's
for
dope.
sure.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the room. I was actually thinking about that. Like as you were talking, I'm like, we never mentioned the rooms that you have because I seen the one at 21. I didn't know where the other one was at.
Yeah, so the room was just created based off. Um, I had a teacher at School 21, Miss Fairfax, reached out to me probably in 2020 during the pandemic. I mean, of course, they weren't in school. No one was in school at the time. And she was asking me, like, hey, you should do some mentorship. I like what you're doing with Zone 6. And once they got back into school and whatnot, or we knew they was going back into school going into 2021 in the fall, I'm looking like, this is how I would like the program to actually look, not just come in and just talk and mentor. We want to mentor. We want to make sure even when we're not here that they have a room that they can look forward to. And the room is actually an incentive room for them to do better academically, make sure they're coming to school, make sure that their behavior is on point as well. So they know they have something to look forward to because you tell me we got 2 PS5s sitting in there. I'm looking like,
Yeah.
yo, at lunch you about to get this smoke. So but now I'm looking like, hey, you know you gotta do your homework, right? Let's make sure we do our homework. Let's make sure we get some good grades and whatnot so we could play together. I just don't want to go in there and be playing playing the game by myself. So they actually, without them even realizing it, they're pushing each other so they could be with their friends.
And be in
Helping
that
hold
room.
each other
Yeah.
accountable.
Yep,
Teaching them accountability and telling them
Absolutely.
to each other.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's dope. That's fire.
Yep.
Keeping the aspect of like team sports around at all times, making sure they like pick your brother up, make sure he ain't
Uh-huh.
slacking off so he can't be outside playing while you ain't here playing. I feel that's dope.
Yeah. I mean, any advice you have for like young athletes?
I mean, you have to work every day at your craft. I mean, I played up to high school or even up to my freshman year of college and whatnot, even though I was only basically just on, if you ain't playing, you basically just practicing at the time. So I would just say separate yourself. Like, and once you learn how to separate yourself as far as working on your craft in different ways. So one day might be film day. So it doesn't also always have to be moving around and working out to separate yourself. You could get into like some yoga. You could get into reading a book, right? So you building your discipline, and once they do that, and when the time comes for them to stop playing, they're gonna have a lot of life lessons and a lot of discipline, and they're only going to make themselves better as a man or even a female, or young lady, should I say?
For sports, yeah.
Yeah.
Sports.
So that's like the advice, and then don't let nobody dictate what you can and what you cannot do. Like at the end of the day, you control your destiny, and just from a business standpoint and whatnot that they can relate to also in sports, you're gonna get a million no's before you get your yes. Like it was like when I reached out to like different people to be a part of it, or it could be either a sponsorship or just being a part of like trying to pitch what we're doing. It was no,
Wow.
not interested. We'll get back to you later and whatnot. All those million no's, once you get that one yes, you start picking up. I mean, you're gonna get some no's in between, but that pattern is gonna definitely change. I mean,
It's like a learning experience.
Mhm.
You gotta go through your ups
yeah, and it
downs.
makes you hungry. I mean, like that MJ meme, like I took that shit personal. Like definitely,
Love it.
like literally, anytime I had my mind set on something and I really, really want to get it done, and someone says no, I'm like, bet I'm gonna prove it to them.
Yeah, I
Or
got
if someone
you.
doesn't want to be a part of it, I'm gonna be like, hey, you missed out on an opportunity. Like,
They'll circle
yeah,
back.
yeah, yesterday's price ain't today's price. For sure.
Well, we're taxing around here.
Nah, definitely for sure. So we definitely, I mean, we always take care of our people that create our opportunities for us. I mean, these relationships are a two-way street without a doubt. So everyone who works with us, whether it's an athlete, a parent, a school, a facility, they know that they could reach back out to us, and we're willing to help them any way possible, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much, we're gonna cut there, guys.
All
To,
right.
to take a break there. I think that was all the questions.
Mhm.
Um,
Karen,
how
fuck
long
my
we?
head.
What's the time on that? All right. What showcases should we expect for 2022?
So this upcoming May, we have our what's it called? Elite Invitational, which will be held May 21st at King University. That's an invite camp. And the invite is just not for your 3-4 star athletes or kids that already got some scholarship money or whatnot, or being heavily recruited. We also invite some underrated guys that we think could eat off their plate as well, man.
Gotcha.
I tell the kids when they come to our camps, try to steal some money from these guys that got money, and then I tell the guys that got money, protect your money, straight like that. So, also we have our middle school showcase. That's gonna be June 4th at PCTI, 5th to 8th grade, and we have our elite kicking. Our East Coast is kind of growing. Our East Coast elite specialist showcase. Coach Ricky Krautman holds it down. He was an All-American kicker at Syracuse. So we actually have that event the same day. The kickers are coming in a morning session. Middle schoolers are coming finish the second session.
Sorry to cut you off. When you guys do these showcases, is there other media groups there, like other like Zone6ix and not Zone6? You know what I mean? Like, is there other people that
No, definitely for sure. I mean, we always
collab and stuff?
collab and whatnot, and let people like, hey, just reach out so we could get you the right credentials,
Right.
and whatnot. And the thing is with media and having a camera and recording or taking a picture,
Mhm.
the more cameras you have, the more people that could capture the moment. Sometimes
The angle.
we might miss it on our staff that's
Right.
directly working with Zone6ix, but then someone might get the right angle and whatnot. So we never try to just like, hey, we're doing our own thing. We try to collab and work together and help build other brands. We shout each other out and whatnot. At the end of the day, it's all love. I mean, everyone, we trying to
One
just lift
goal.
each other. Yeah, we trying to help elevate. Like I said, it's a two-way street and whatnot. So definitely always treating everybody with the same kind of respect, without a doubt. And I mean, that's it for our showcases as far as camps and whatnot. I mean, we got 7-on-7 tournament May 14th and 15th at Vote Park in Teaneck, New Jersey, where we got club teams. Last year we had teams coming from all the way from Pittsburgh all the way down to Maryland. So hopefully we expand it even more this year, trying to get down to like the teams in Virginia and North Carolina.
Florida.
Hey man,
Never
Florida?
Never
Get
the little jits.
never say never. It's just hard to
Get
get kids from
Jits.
Florida to
The
come
little
up when
jits
they got
come up
that
here.
they got
What
that
is the
great
ages
weather.
for that
Yeah.
7-on-7?
13U, 15U, 18U, but it's hard to get Florida, man. They got you got palm trees, Disney World.
Yeah, I can't leave that.
Yeah, you're not
They said
competing.
bring the
to go
smoke,
to
but we ain't coming to the
Jersey?
smoke.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean-
Jersey, but
Yeah, I honestly I'd rather have our kids go down to Florida than
Yeah.
Florida kids coming up here so they
Yeah.
could have that experience. I
Something
mean,
like youth games.
yeah,
like that.
yeah. And like our
That'd be
team this
dope.
week. So we have a team. Our team going down to Charlotte this week. So our 15 and our 18-year-olds.
that'd be
So,
dope. They
Got
bring
you,
back
got
youth
you.
games.
Oh, shout out to y'all too. I saw that you guys got partnered with Gatorade. Snaps, everybody.
Appreciate
Yes,
it, man.
sir.
Thank you,
That's
thank you,
big,
thank
bro.
you. Nah, definitely
Yes, sir.
huge,
That's lit.
huge.
That's lit.
I mean, timing is everything. Be in the right place, right time. Closed mouths don't get fed. Going up to the right people, introducing yourself goes a long way. Because I realized I used to email all these different companies and whatnot, and now I have a different approach to how we do business now, especially when we're trying to do sponsorships. Because you just try to shoot from left field, like I mean, it might be in the spam. You don't know the
Yeah.
messages. Like they're not gonna like, whatever. Well, if you got that when you got that personal connection, or someone throw you that oop in a sense and connect you with someone,
that networking, bro.
the networking world. I mean, it really happened. As soon as I met him, it probably happened within like 72 hours.
Ooh.
Like literally 72 hours. this is what we do. This is what we have coming up. All the events that we just went through and whatnot. How long we've been doing it. What's some of the things that you have going on at the back end of the year or year round. So that was like the number one thing. I mean, if you're gonna be with a brand or get sponsorship or partnership in a sense, we have to make sure that every month of the year we're putting their brand out there and elevating them. And I mean, Gatorade's still number one sports drink. So to stay at that number one where they're never comfortable, you see they still drop commercials. They not like Lamborghini or some of these other cars that you don't see commercials and whatnot. So they're very competitive. And of course, you don't think twice when it comes to Gatorade.
You just grab it, especially the yellow joint.
We was brought up on it. So honestly,
especially that one right there.
Bro, I tell me all
childhood
the
dream.
time.
Like I was like when I first like people was like, "Hey, how you feel?" I said to someone, I'm looking like kind of reminds me of my my book cover in middle school or grade school when I used to have the Vince Carter, Vince Carter book cover. Used to use the poster to cover your books and whatnot. That was like the first thing that ran through my mind and whatnot. Because like Vince was like my favorite player, like growing up and whatnot. And I'm looking like, nah, this is like really, really next level. And I just hope we're able to have this partnership go to another level as far as within our community more so, and then with our athletes in our events. So shout out to Gatorade, without a doubt.
G Power.
Shout out to Gatorade.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Like you never know who you're speaking to, because it reminds me of what LeBron posted recently. Like when I was some people too, I'm like, you never know who you're speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't be an asshole to them. Like you literally you could be speaking to like the VP of Gatorade. You don't even know him. He's like, oh, I like you. What you doing? Then he gets to know you. He's like, oh, you do that? Boom. Connected. Network.
Nah, without a doubt. So we're looking forward to working with some other people.
Oh my bad. I almost cut you off.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. You good.
I'm gonna say, what other brands are you targeting? Besides, like what you just.
I mean, of course, when it comes to when it comes to partnerships or sponsorships, you got non-competes. So everybody got their field and whatnot. So I would say a car brand.
That's fire.
I mean, we got kids that could drive when you 17, 18. Parents got to drive the kids to events. So it's different angles where we could step in and whatnot.
That'd be fire.
We've been able to. It was fortunate to do more so on a local level, sponsorship with McDonald's. So looking to probably get into like another like food brand on a corporate level, and electronics like let's say like
technology,
like Beats by Dre, Sony, Bose, like those type of companies, things that the kids like. And the number one thing I would say that everyone has is a cell phone. So cell phone brand. Anybody, Verizon, AT&T, I'll switch over my carrier if I
make his line ring.
Yeah. So and then I would say like insurance companies and military. So it's definitely, I mean, military. You don't have to always think about war. It's just a lot of opportunities that are out here for people coming out of high school. Whether you decide to do Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever the case may be. But those are like some target areas that we're definitely looking to do. But number one thing, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I could get a Nike sponsorship, I was watching the HBO.
Wait, bro, wait. Why don't you speak it to existence though? Come on, let's speak it to existence, bro. You're gonna get a Nike deal. When you get that Nike deal.
You want to talk about Magic Johnson?
Yeah. Now, and I say that because as far as our apparel for our football camps and whatnot, we work with a company called Game Breaker, right? Game Breaker is upcoming and rising. And before seeing the Magic Johnson, I always kept an open mind. I'm like, all right, no one else is offering anything right now. They're working with us in different capacity. They wasn't offering what Phil was offering to Magic 18 cents per share and whatnot. But we're definitely keeping an open minded because everything is about long term, right? Everyone here wants generational wealth, right? Not saying Magic's not wealthy and whatnot, but he might be the
Could've been
cause. He could probably be the cause to maybe stopping world hunger or something. Like with it was $5.5 billion that was worth,
$5.8 billion.
and then
Crazy.
put that on
He
top
could've
of
been
whatever.
the richest person right now.
Then I put that on top
Easily
of
the richest
no,
athlete.
no,
He'll be in
no.
front of everyone without a
No,
doubt.
I'm talking about
put that on top of him signing Jordan because he would have owned
Oh, yeah,
Jordan's
of
deal
course,
too.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
yeah,
Jordan
that's
brand's
wild.
crazy.
Put that on top of Kobe, Jordan, all that other money.
And
The
look,
branch
I don't
off
know
of
if y'all,
LeBron.
if y'all know what we're talking
LeBron.
about. Basically, it was Magic turned down a deal that Nike gave him.
Yeah.
When he was like,
So
he chose Converse. over
So
Nike.
what happened was exactly
18 cents
they-
per share. Bro.
he wanted $80 million from Converse, and Nike didn't have $80 million to offer him. So when
80,000,
Nike-
80,000.
80,000.
80 million
80,000.
back. That's a lot, bro.
Yo.
My fault.
Back then- Back then,
That's
shoot, that
It was less. We just said it's 5.8 bill. So what they did was they said we can't match them dollar for dollar, so we'll give you a stake in our company. So basically, every sneaker we sell, you get $1 of.
or
And
18,
they
18
already
cent, 18 cent off of every single thing you sell.
Everything. And they already had a prototype with his
I
name.
think we
on
all
it.
got
The first
Nikes on right
blazer-
now.
Word.
The first Nike Blazer was gonna have Magic on the side. They had all that already prototyped. They gave him the contract, one of the shoes. They said, "Think about it."
Yo,
I mean, it's-
Literally.
I think during that time, you're
That's
talking
nice.
about someone that's probably 19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
right? Because what if you don't take he end up signing for 100,000, right? You don't take the guaranteed money, right? And I kind of look at it as Dennis Schroeder. You leave
man.
$80 million on the table.
Oh my god, bro.
No, also
That
the
still
thing
bothers
was,
me, bro.
That's
That's
an
crazy.
outside.
The league wasn't as big as it was right now. You know?
Yeah, that's
It's,
different
I
time.
mean,
It was
with
big, though.
business
It was big.
decisions, it's
Right.
hit or
It was big.
miss. Who knew Amazon was going to be what
Yeah.
Amazon is?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean,
Amazon passed.
I think when I'm open to doing partnerships and sponsorships, I'm listening to the drive. I'm listening to the passion that a person is approaching me with, and I think without a doubt, Game Breaker, who we work with now, I mean, they're doing very well and whatnot, and I think they're gonna take things to another level. And we're excited to be partnered with them, and we want to continue working with them based off our sponsorship with them. And I think going forward, let's say if we want to work with Nike, and I want to work with Nike, and we will work with Nike. You said speaking to existence,
to
we
existence,
will,
bro.
because it's definitely on my bucket list. But if someone with all this technology that we have right now, all this creativity, genius mindset, might be a kid coming out of college, like a Phil Knight and whatnot, and might come up to me because now we got more resources. We got all these shops and manufacturers that you could cook up some heat with. And in the fashion industry, people are turning into superstars as far as their brand I don't want to say overnight, because everyone has to put in work before it looks like overnight. Nothing happens overnight. It may look like that, but you had a bunch of other nights where nobody knew who you were. And if someone came up to me with a good proposal and whatnot, I'm definitely open-minded to it. Someone like, hey, you turned down Nike. Nah, I believe in the people and the generation behind me, or people of my peers, where you talking about it. I mean, Nike's been around since what, 70, 82 maybe? 80
like late
70s, like, yeah,
like
so
80s, 80s.
I might be putting something in motion, putting something in play that might benefit the overall brand of Zone6ix, my family, and whatnot. Okay, yeah, Phil Knight offered me $100,000, all right, because now Phil could put money in offer and whatnot.
Yes.
Kid might do the same thing that happened to Magic and whatnot. Like, hey, I could give you 25% of the company. He could pitch me. He could do his best Shark Tank pitch, and I might jump on board. And people right now might think I'm crazy, but if you have that vision, and I think without a doubt, I feel as if I think different, and I'm open to things a little bit more than other people, where people are real quick to grab that quick money or that flex money and whatnot. So, I mean, whenever you're doing business, just do not jump on any deal you get
Like the first,
right away.
like the first one. Just wait it out a little bit. Basically, like what you basically saying.
No, absolutely, definitely wait it out. But I will say when Gatorade,
Now I was also gonna say that you don't wanna wait it out too much. I think you gotta be smart about it too. Like,
yeah, I mean certain opportunities. I mean,
you can't pass up on.
yeah, if you talk about Gatorade, I mean they've been dominant without a doubt since whenever they started at the University of Florida. But certain things are gonna just make sense. Certain things you just need some advice, mentors, whoever it may be a friend and whatnot. Just definitely take your time on some of these opportunities that are presented because some people don't have your best interest where they'll cut some corners and try to
Cut
get-
costs.
yeah.
Basically,
Because once you sign that dotted line, may the odds be in your favor.
Jay has a question for Justin, I believe.
So we were fortunate to have, as I mentioned before, our first Zone 6 football kickoff classic last year. This year we're running it back, so it'll be our second annual. And the first game, which was a must to have, like I said, when you take things personal and whatnot, just kept pushing, coming different angles to make it happen and whatnot. Shout out to Clifton High School. Shout out to East Orange High School. We're going to be hosting them on Thursday, September 1st at Clifton Stadium. It's the rematch of the Group 5 North State Championship that went into 3 overtimes, controversial play, finished with a 102-yard fumble recovery to end the game. It was crazy. I mean, our impressions was over like 100,000, like
Crazy.
from that play, and that was recorded with an iPhone. So,
and we will
like,
be
yeah,
there. By the way, people, we will be at that game sideline.
yes, for sure, for sure. So that game, we're anticipating anywhere between 7,000 to 10,000 people, without a doubt. Tickets are already on sale now. Think about it. High school
Crazy.
football game. It's April, like we're about to go into May, and we're
Yeah.
talking about tickets
Fall.
already. Go to eventbrite.com, by the way, if you want to
Yeah.
grab a ticket, because once you get there, good luck.
We'll also have it in the description for the link, so you can buy a ticket as
Appreciate it. Yep.
as well.
Yeah, and this game is going to be unlike anything. I know we call it the Zone 6 Kickoff Classic, but it's going to definitely be like Zone 6 Festival. Like,
Especially since it being the second one, they already know how the first one was. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
now the energy's going to be different. I mean, we had we
I
had
can't wait to see the setup.
like the
I
little
feel it.
pyrotechnics last year. Like you got the CO2 smokes, so it's things that you see like on TV with the college and like the pros and whatnot. I mean, we're actually gonna have the first ever jumbotron screen at a high school venue, for a high school game. I mean, I've never seen one in the state of New Jersey. I've seen them in some of the bigger states and whatnot, but the energy level is definitely going to be.
Immaculate.
Insane.
Yeah,
And we
shout
will
out,
be
shout out,
there.
yeah, shout out to all our sponsors
Recorded.
for the event and partners. So shout out to Gatorade, shout out to Stan Sports, shout out to the U.S. Army, and hopefully shout out to everyone else that's hopefully get on board.
I meant to ask you as well. Did you guys get the sponsorship with glasses? With the shades? I saw Al Kadeen and the kid from Bergen Catholic. Did something
So,
for Zone 6.
oh, for DMAX Sports.
Yeah.
So we did the DMAX
That's what it was.
Sports. We actually did the content for it. So Quan Akudi Muhammad, who's
Yeah.
now with the Chicago Bears, a former
His team.
that's your squad. If you need some tickets, man, like just don't ask until it's like 10 degrees in Chicago, because then nobody they'll definitely be available then. But
We needed that line help though.
yeah,
You
so
got the
Quan
He's tough.
hit me up and said, "Hey, can you? I'm in town. Can you shoot this shade video for DMAX Sports? You guys any ideas and whatnot?" I'm like, "Hey, we got our Zone 6 room. We could come in after school hours and do something." He wanted a student athlete to be a part of it, which was DJ Samuels from Bergen Catholic, who is our 2-time defensive player of the year as far as for the state of New Jersey. He kind of as a sophomore and as a junior, so he's only going to be senior next year.
He's tough, bro.
Nah,
He's
definitely.
tough, bro.
He's like
He
he
like
was just
that.
named best player in the state of New Jersey going into this season on Max Preps. And then Quan went to Bosco, Don Bosco Prep. DJ's at Bergen. That's
Yeah,
the biggest
That's
rivalry.
actually funny.
Probably the biggest
Sorry.
rivalry in high school football, honestly. If not one of the biggest, without a doubt. And we were able to bring them together, shoot the DMAX video, so
Mhm.
they have some content. I mean, like I say, it was actually his sponsorship.
Oh, it was
whatnot,
it was
but
Quan.
I mean, it's my boy, so I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely I'd rather shoot it and be creative with it than
Yeah.
him coming home and doing it with someone else. So I was glad he reached
Yeah.
out.
Shout out to Al-Qadim, Muhammad.
No, definitely for sure,
Word.
man. Shout out to Aquadine Muhammad Jr., Lil Quan too.
Yeah,
We winning
word.
like 13 games this year.
yeah.
Go Bears.
Hey man,
It's our division, you heard?
It's
Yo, you
tequila
heard
in
what he
that
said,
bottle,
right?
huh?
Don't ask for tickets until it's 10 degrees.
now I definitely gotta make it out to Chicago. That's like one of the few places I've
That's
never
why
been to.
this year I was 100% trying to go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going.
I heard it's like Soldier.
I already went to like 8 years ago. We played the Jets, and I sat second row. I mean, the Jet tickets are always,
yeah.
especially at that time. That was like 7-8 years ago. So, and Jay Cutler was a quarterback.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah, that was a pretty dope experience. So I want to do it, but I want to do it
in
at
the
Soldier
Chicago.
Field.
Yeah.
So nothing beats that.
Nah, I'm
Definitely
definitely gonna
go
try to
big
catch a
eyes.
game out there without a doubt for sure.
You got any other things that Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you got other things that you're working on, I should say. But we won't speak about that.
I mean,
Um,
we got some pretty big matchups that we're trying to dive into for the
Mhm.
schedule. I mean, of course, trying to work contracts out with some of the facilities, but all we could tell you right now, September 16th is a big date without a doubt. Let me take it back. We got a couple of big dates. I mean, because once we do that September 1st event at Clifton Stadium, everything's a snowball effect. Like if you miss out, you see on social media, you might be 10 minutes away from Clifton Stadium and you see what we do in the first before the ball even kicks off, and you might be trying to rush to the stadium. Like literally, like it's going to be crazy. You got like over the top right before kickoff even starts. But some dates to potentially look at is September 2nd, September 4th, September 16th, and something really, really, really special is going to probably more than likely happen on September 30th without a doubt. Like we're actually going to make some history without a doubt. So we're definitely looking forward
Solid.
to it. I mean, of course, we'll have you guys a part of
yeah,
it,
we'll be there.
but this conversation is
Ponies,
definitely
ponies.
based off of potential high school football games, a part of our classic. So last year was just a kickoff classic. This year we're gonna have the kickoff classic, but we're elevating it to some highly anticipated games that's on the regular season as well.
I can't wait, bro. That's gonna be fire.
Facts.
Bro. That's gonna be fire.
Hold on, I got a question for
you.
Yep.
Is Zone 6 coming to any other sports?
Say that one more time.
Is Zone 6 coming to any other sports?
Great question. I mean, without a doubt, I would say next in line we have soccer that we want to dive into.
Soccer,
Soccer.
baseball.
Yeah, we like baseball.
I think that baseball's ready, right? Yeah.
Like we
Sure.
we have baseball as far as it's in the works and
Oh,
whatnot.
okay.
It's not fully launched, so it's out there in a sense. But we're gonna end up taking that to a whole nother level. Of course, when you have opportunities and coming in, you want to make sure you master certain departments first.
You need
And
translators. 'Cause I know there's a lot of Hispanic. Nah, seriously.
Nah, definitely,
Hispanic
for
baseball
sure.
players, let me know. I got you. Bro.
no, I
Seriously.
appreciate that for sure. And then even for soccer, I mean,
Yeah,
if you know,
same thing. I got you.
but
I said I got you.
But
serious, y'all-
yeah,
Nah,
spot-
nah,
soccer
I know.
soccer is definitely something that we definitely have to tap in without a doubt.
Soccer's
You
a
got
big sport.
you got both genders,
Right.
male, female,
yeah.
and they start these little kids as far as like age 3 playing in those little
Yeah.
mini net leagues and whatnot, and you can play all year round. So just like we was talking about indoor facilities earlier, but soccer is the world sport at
Number
the end
one
of the day.
sport in the world. It is.
Yeah, every country, no matter where you go,
Soccer.
you play soccer.
Mhm.
So I feel as if we're not reaching our maximum capabilities in doing what we do because we could be creative on that level. We could have a soccer kickoff, just like how everyone in my city was like, as far as the kids saying like, "Hey, bring basketball." I've actually had some coaches and whatnot ask me like, "When you gonna do the Zone 6 soccer and whatnot?" But when you tap in and dive into different sports, you have to make sure the pieces around you are lined up the correct way. You got to make sure people that live, breathe, eat those sports and whatnot are on board, and you got to make sure that you have people that you can rely on. Like you got to be able to have folks that's going to put that extra work in to take things to another level. And shout out to my whole team. I mean, they put a lot of volunteer hours in when we first started and whatnot. They just believed in the mission, and without them, I wouldn't be able to like grow this brand to where it's at today.
And
Yeah,
let me
shout out
know
to
if
the
you
team.
need soccer players. I do know a couple soccer coaches, so let me know like soccer coaches and trainers. I could reach out to them.
No,
happen.
absolutely. So I mean, I'll probably dive into that once we finish this
Football?
year in a
Yeah.
sense. So like probably get started actually once
Yeah.
football is going and up and running because that's just gonna run itself
Right.
Yeah.
and whatnot as far as their regular schedules and games and whatnot. And then like all of our camps, we're on like our third, fourth annual of camps. So everything has like a blueprint where all right, we're gonna hit up our contact at this facility. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We know what coaches that we're using and whatnot. So now I don't have to put the crazy amount of hours into those type of things. Where now put my energy into soccer because like this year, our energy was put into our school projects.
Right.
So when everything was going on, but definitely looking forward to really taking baseball to another level, and then also lacrosse. I definitely want to bring some. We kind of like did like a soft launch where we announced that it's coming soon. We just didn't put a date on it. But as far as within the urban community, lacrosse is a sport that we could definitely master as minorities. I mean, without a doubt, we have a unique skill set.
One of my little
compared to
cousins
anyone.
actually played lacrosse growing up. Actually, and I
Nice.
actually roomed when I was in college with 2 lacrosse kids. It's actually a dope game.
Yeah, they said like Jim Brown decided to
Jace-
play
didn't
lacrosse
Jace play
forever.
Yeah.
Jim Brown probably would have been like the greatest lacrosse player ever.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
lacrosse is like it's dope. It's like
Hockey
football
with
with
a
a stick. and hockey at the same
it's like
time.
everything
So,
to
like,
Yeah.
combine.
you gotta learn how to cradle. And
I think
rock it
yeah, I
at
just
the
think
same time.
I just think people look at it in a different realm as far as long term. As far as where is their
Where
money?
goes the next
Oh,
brand?
like the professionalism
Like
towards
after
it.
college,
Yeah,
what is left for lacrosse?
yeah.
But with anything is
Somebody started a league.
you gotta. I mean, they have professional lacrosse leagues, but and I mean they get paid and whatnot. But as far as what's invested, just like how you said, NBA wasn't all that back in like the 70s and take it to another level. We gotta have creative minds and whatnot to elevate it to make it super popular.
Yeah.
Just like you see people coming up with all these crazy sports on ESPN. Every time I turn to
Yeah,
ESPN,
we
You
talking
seen
about
that,
that.
that baseball league?
man,
Nah.
I
Some dude came
oh,
out
I
with a
I have seen it where they be
He doing a
dancing.
split.
Yeah, the bananas or something.
Tell me, I seen the pillow fight.
Pillow
in
fight
boxing.
is
Yeah.
top
Oh,
5.
yeah.
Yo.
Like
Bro, they
even
was in
even
there
not just
teeing
the
off.
pillow fight boxing, even the what's the smack the thing.
Oh, that,
No lie, no exaggeration. Like that Arnold Schwarzenegger holds this, and I know this because of who I said my mentor Frank
Mhm.
was a bodybuilder. As you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a
big bodybuilder.
big bodybuilder before being a governor and whatnot and movie star. He hosts this event in Ohio. I don't know what part exactly. And so the thing that you see with like the slap thing, and they got some major sponsors, like Louis Vuitton was a sponsor.
Wow, that's crazy.
No. I'm talking about
smacking.
smack. I'm talking about
like Smack Fest.
yeah, smack. Like you get
Yeah,
like you
you
stand there,
bugging.
you hanging. 2 people probably like catch you if you pass out and whatnot.
It's legit. Like,
but
they,
you try to smack somebody
yeah,
the
they
hardest
legit
you
hold
can.
a arm
And whatnot.
Oh, that
Maybe
dude
they be like this.
Like you gotta hold a bar to keep your stability.
But
like
as far as
this.
sponsorships, they were bringing
yeah,
they're bringing in
legit.
like tens of millions of dollars like that weekend. Like it's called like Arnold's Fest or something, whatever. They're bringing in multi-million dollars
That's
for,
crazy.
for it. Without
He
a
said,
doubt.
"What's up?"
What's up? Put up points, pull up the Arnold Fest just to watch. Ain't nobody slapping me.
Yeah, so
Why? I'm about to say, nobody slapping
Ain't
you.
nobody slapping me.
yeah,
dog.
as long as like, as far as like when things become a part of the culture and whatnot, and when things become must see TV, that's when that price is going to go up
Crazy.
for those like people playing, because you're gonna get those big time TV contracts. That's where you first are gonna get a lot of revenue from and whatnot. So we'll see what happens as far as lacrosse and some of these other sports being able to step in the realm of making seven figure
Disgusting money.
Yeah.
money deals for athletes. But I think that's like the only question for lacrosse. Like, how far can I go with it
Yeah.
and
I think that's
whatnot?
everybody question with it though. For real.
Yeah, a lot of people play stuff for the money. You see the lavish life that
Yeah.
some of these celebrities and athletes live, and they want that. So
Yeah.
it is money. It is money driven behind these sports. So having a backing behind lacrosse or something like that, it would definitely. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of minorities.
You just
would
need,
start playing.
you just got to have that right influence, man. You got to have that Elon Musk in a sense where that stock is just going to rise, without a doubt. And once someone becomes the trailblazer to take it to another level and put out there, and it becomes like a trend and whatnot, everything will work itself out. So
Did anybody have any other questions?
Oh, I was gonna ask, do you guys like have a merch site? Like, do you guys sell merch or anything like that?
oh no, for sure. So we got some new merchandise coming out, especially for the Zone 6 Classic. And shout out to Stan Sports again. We just did a sponsorship with them, but Zone6sports.com. Make sure when you spell 6, it's the number 6ix. Without a doubt, you see right there on the t-shirt. But yeah, definitely making some of the merchandise is pretty fun. These are like the one I got on. This is like
well, this day, right?
this one is based from UCLA.
Oh, you see,
So this was actually a staff. This was a staff shirt that we had like at our 7-on-7 event. So just like Swag Wednesdays, trying to make sure my staff is
Swagged out.
in good hands for sure.
I think that's it. I don't.
Dope ass episode.
Yeah.
fellas.
The Putting Up Points gang needs some merch.
Oh, damn.
We'll definitely go in support, but we need some exclusive merch.
You need to be in the Philly
Well, we're
Swag
gonna need something for the
Wednesday.
game. Though.
Nah, definitely.
Well,
We'll
well,
definitely-
well, for the games because we're gonna
Nah,
get
definitely,
games. Yeah.
definitely for sure. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of merchandise
Yeah.
and whatnot, especially for our staff. We're big on making sure everyone's like uniform and whatnot. So
And we'll have something for you too. I'll have some putting up
Facts.
point
We're
stuff
gonna
because
have
we got
stuff for
weird
putting
putting
up
up point
points.
stuff there.
yeah.
And we'll like hang up
Hopefully
like the
Nike-
gear.
hopefully
what
we
you
get-
got there.
Hopefully that Nike deal is put in place. I mean, last year for
Well,
our
we got 4 months till then, so we.
Yeah.
No, we
We
got some
know what
time,
happened.
but I make sure like at our events, our staff,
Right,
like
right.
Mhm.
our classic last year, our staff was, we all had like Nikes and everything. Everybody was nice and uniform from head to toe. I mean, also shout out to the NFL. They actually was one of our sponsors with the Jets for the Kickoff Classic.
Dope.
And- yep.
Dope. But we appreciate having you, bro.
Thank you guys,
Putting up
man.
points.
Right.
And I'm
Definitely,
looking.
we definitely gonna bring you back again. You know,
Facts.
after the classics.
Nah, definitely for sure. Oh, by the way, we have one event
Oh, go ahead.
that's
go
kind
ahead.
of outside of what we do, but the opportunity was just kind of like presented to us, and we love creating those memorable experiences. On Friday, May 13th at Kennedy High School, we're hosting a wrestling event with East Coast Wrestling, and we're gonna have about 8 different matches. I think they're putting the tag team titles up, and then there
like
will
I thought it was
think that's
like
no like WWE style,
that's
like
Pitts.
yeah.
I think that's
And then
Pitts,
so
Wall
Pitts
Drop
actually
Man
reached out.
Pitts.
He reached out to
Oh,
me.
wow.
We might have to
Right,
pull up
so,
on that.
Yeah, we got to
um,
pull up to that.
Patterson Recreation.
Yeah, I'm definitely
And
gonna pull
Zone
up to
6
that.
is
I'm pulling
hosting
up to
it.
We in there putting
And
up points
and
live.
I think one of the fights is a Patterson street fight. So it's
Oh, we
it's,
definitely
Oh,
in
we-
there.
yeah, it's gonna be off the top. So that's what we like
Yeah, we'll
currently
definitely
working on
Yeah.
right now.
Yo, we can pull up a wrestling gear.
Nah, I'm not
Pull up in the
fucking
wrestling
with
gear.
that.
Get these fools.
You're not pulling up the wrestling gear?
Shit, I might pull up in the rock, the Stone Cold vest, wallow with some G shorts. Y'all
I
wild.
just want to do one Stone Cold stunner.
You can't let them know you doing it though, bro. You just gotta walk up to mid fight.
Wait, why is Justin in the ring?
Oh my God, it's the slobber knocker.
Nah, definitely for sure.
Where's
Yeah,
that
I definitely
chair?
I was a big wrestling fan growing up, without a doubt.
He said Frank
Santi gonna pull up with the leotard with the one strap on.
Nah, he put it like Rikishi.
Don't do it.
Nah, it should be,
You might have to
nah, it
put
should
your
be fun,
dreadlocks
man.
for
The kids gonna love it. I mean,
Chill,
I know.
Nah, we'll definitely be there.
it's not every day we see wrestling. Like, yeah, let's just like you gotta pay.
Definitely bringing my little cousins to
to go
watch
see,
the damn
like,
Die Hard.
WWE.
That's- Definitely got to pull up to that. That's
Facts.
good.
Nah, it's-
Yeah,
so,
nah, we'll
yeah.
be there. Definitely.
Wildin'.
But yeah, appreciate you, bro. We definitely gonna have
Facts.
we gonna see you then. But we definitely gonna have you on after the classics to talk. We'll talk about the classics and stuff. It'll be a dope experience for everybody.
Mhm.
Camera crew, I hope y'all there. We gonna need y'all the most.
I definitely want y'all to sit down with some of the athletes for sure.
Yeah,
too.
well, yeah.
That's about to say.
And,
I
like-
definitely want to talk to your athletes, give them their
and then we'll
roses, give them their
discuss,
flowers.
like whatever you want us to talk about with them. Like if you have stuff you want us to ask them, or they have something that they want to say, It's
Nah,
kind of
we'll be ready.
like we'll talk about it though.
No, for
Sure,
sure,
Don't
man.
forget, remember to subscribe,
Like, comment.
follow, comment, share.
Mhm.
Any
Yes, sir.
feedback you guys have?
We
Let us
appreciate
know.
all the love and support. Thank you guys for helping points go up. It's gonna continue to go up. We working. We love y'all. Appreciate you, Jess.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Bro,
Make sure you save them dates. All those dates
Yeah,
that
save
Justin
them
wrote
dates,
down,
and we
man.
will be there.
live. We gonna see y'all. I don't trust they gonna remember it. Like, and make sure you have Zone 6